Liverpool legend Phil Thompson standing by. We're going to get his thoughts on the big game this weekend, Liverpool United. But before that, Gary Breen was on the show last night with Johnny, and he was talking about Liverpool's title credentials.
I think Liverpool would dominate. I know, like, we've got two teams who are devastating on a counter-attack, but I think Liverpool would dominate possession. I think United will want to suck them in a little bit to create a bit of space. But if I had to go for anyone, and this is the one thing I say, if you're going to be title winners, you have to go to these places and win. Regardless of the rivalry, the history between both games, if you're looking to win the title, you have to go away to the fourth best team in the league and you have to win. And I just feel that Liverpool will do it, because I don't think that United defence is good enough.
Shane?
Yeah, I'd be of the same opinion. If I'd be leaning towards, I think there'll be goals. I definitely think there'll be goals. I think we're probably looking at if I had to go for one, I'd say 2-1 to Liverpool. Yeah.
But who wins the title, Gary?
Well, as Shane said there, it would be an unbelievable result if they do go and win there. The momentum they'll have, and I think they'll probably have a really strong end to the season, but City will still win the title.
Phil Thompson, do you go with all of
that? Oh, just can't stop laughing. I go along with the Liverpool winning at Old Trafford, and I certainly won't go along with them that Manchester City will win it. They said there'll be an unbelievable bounce if Liverpool win at Old Trafford on Sunday. And I think that will carry them to the title. I really do. A draw won't be a bad result for Liverpool at Old Trafford, but I think the win and what it will do for them and the lift that they will get and going into I think there's only then Everton away, and I think it's Chelsea and Spurs at Anfield. So the fixtures are not too bad for Liverpool. But it's got the makings of a tremendous game. It didn't have that feel under Jose Mourinho.
Yeah, or for a while, it does feel as if it's actually a rivalry now in a game on Sunday that means something in a way that it hasn't done for the last, a lot of years, really.
Oh, absolutely. You're looking at it with Jose, there was a fear factor, wasn't there? I think he realised Liverpool were better than them. They've come through the Van Gaal era, the David Moyes era. Things weren't great. Liverpool were looking always the better team. And certainly under Jose, it was a bit of frightened football. It was typical Jose. And that's not what Manchester United were about. They wanted to compete. Yes, they still got good results, but it wasn't the type of football that it was. And I think what Ole has done since he's come back in there is nothing short of phenomenal. And they have, and I know we can always say that a lot of the fixtures were kind to him, but this Premier League, you've still got to go and win it. And what I've seen on Monday night at Chelsea, I thought it was terrific. Yes, the second half was quite defensive, but the counter-attack, they were absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it's funny you talk about Jose there, Phil. You may need to have a word with your Sky Sports colleague, Paul Merson, because he says Liverpool look tight and tense. They're playing a bit like Manchester United were playing under Jose.
Liverpool are playing like that?
Yeah. There's a lot of nerves, he says.
Have you listened to Paul Merson? I've been working with him now for 10 years. It was absolutely gobbledygook. I'll have to have a word with him tomorrow. And listen, Merson can say that. No, we don't. Liverpool, as you can see, can only play in one way, and have done that for a long time. Yes, the defence has been better since Van Dijk has been in there, but you've seen them for the last couple of years. It is very much an offensive side, and it's certainly not a Jose Mourinho side by any means. It's high press. I can't remember Jose Mourinho ever doing that, even at Chelsea in his heyday. So does Liverpool not got anything about a Jose Mourinho side ever?
It's unlikely to be a repeat of the game, obviously, we saw in December, but I wondered which United team you would rather face, Phil, because on the face of it, obviously the Mourinho defensive outlook, or what we assume Solskjaer is going to bring to it on Sunday, which would be, as you say, that high press, more attacking game that actually in some ways might suit Liverpool. Yeah,
listen, as I said about the Manchester United at Stamford Bridge on Monday night, it wasn't all sort of free-flowing. Yes, they had to defend a lot in the second half. Chelsea had a lot of possession, But even the defensive side of Manchester United looks a lot more sort of settled. I know who I'd rather be playing against, that Manchester United team that came to Anfield in December, because they were so short of confidence defensively, midfield, up front. It was a team which was so disconnected, it was untrue. But this side has belief, a bit more that they can. They're still not great defensively, but they are a lot better, and they look as though they want to sort of be together and defend together when they have to do. When they break as not just a 1 or 2, but in a 4 and 5.
We were chatting to you a couple of weeks ago about sort of some Liverpool nerves that may have been, I guess, calmed in the meantime. But just in terms of some of the specifics, like Mo Salah, obviously, particularly 20 goals for the season, but he's 1 in 4. And I know his style can be sort of drifting in and out of games, Phil, at times. But are you concerned by that scoring record, or that he might be lacking in a bit of confidence at the minute?
No, not really. I know people going on about the Leicester game and the West Ham game. It was looking a bit nervy. And then we literally, I don't know if you've seen the game, our last game at home at
Bournemouth.
In the Bournemouth game, the 3-0 game, there was some absolute sensational stuff, and Salah was absolutely brilliant there. And then he doesn't play too well against Bayern Munich. Now, if you watch the Munich game, what I seen was 2s and 3s ganging up around Mo Salah all the time, and he was finding it really difficult to find any space. That is maybe looking for an excuse for him, but there's nothing too much wrong with Mo Salah. There's next thing, like, he'll score 2 or 3 goals and nobody will be even mentioning it. And I know people were picking up on him on his Bayern Munich game and saying that he hadn't played well. And there was a couple of players who didn't play well. The fullbacks didn't play well. But there was other areas which I thought were quite sensational, which were the ones which people complain about, which is like Wijnaldum, Henderson, and Keita. I thought Keita was absolutely fantastic. And his pace, whether he plays or not on Sunday, his pace in that central midfield could cause Matic and Herrera great problems.
Yeah, I was at that Bournemouth game, and my felt, and very much the untrained eye compared to your own, that Salah particularly was very much in and out of it in the first half. Now he comes in at the very start of the second half and scores an unbelievable goal, obviously, and game is done and dusted. Salah, yeah, and game is done and dusted at that stage.
It's a lot with players, and if you watch that, it's what great players do. They flit in and out of games, and they still make an impression. But it's like some of the greatest goal scorers that I've ever known. You don't see them for most of the game. And then they absolutely do something like a worldie, and you go, that's what these guys get paid the big money for, these strikers. And Salah's been like that. Even last season, there was times, particularly early in the season, after about 10 games, he missed more chances than he scored. So, that is the name of the game with him. And I think now, back then, he was playing Mo. Now he's superstar Mo. And everybody is looking, when he doesn't have a great game, they're looking to pick up on him.
Yeah, you talk about the potential for Liverpool's midfield to overrun Nemanja Matic and Ander Herrera. And I think 10 days ago against Paris Saint-Germain, we saw that happen. Is there anything else you can glean from that game, Phil, in terms of areas that PSG exploited in Manchester United that Liverpool can do the same on Sunday?
I think it is that little bit of pace and quick passing. And that's what we're going to have to be like, because I do believe we will have more possession. And Manchester United, as good as they've been, they're still sort of searching for that cohesive unit all round. I'm saying the defence is better. Matic, I've seen him play more forward passes since Ole's been in there than he had done in all the time with Jose. But they lack a little bit of pace in that area. And I think anything around there, especially with Firmino dropping in that space, and he was sensational the other day, and that was with a virus. So I'm hoping he's still got the same form. But they're the areas which I think Liverpool is the pace and get at those guys and harass them. And you've seen with Matic, he can very easily, you've got that little bit of pace and go past them, and they'll always make that professional foul trying to draw you down. And I think there'll be a lot of free kicks in those areas.
Yeah, and like in terms of, you've mentioned how impressed you were with United on Monday. By the way, they're obviously the form team in the Premier League at the minute, Phil. I presume you've been very impressed with where United are at the minute and what Solskjaer's doing with them?
Absolutely. I said to you before, it's been quite sensational what Ole has done. You can see really that the dressing room area under Jose must have been so toxic. It must have been untrue. The turnaround in some of the players, Rashford, we always knew there was a player in there, but Jose didn't trust him. Pogba, you always knew there was a player in there, and he's quite he can be off the wall, can Pogba. But we've seen the real Paul Pogba step up. And he seems as though he's got a lot freer. I can get in that box. I can make sure that I'm going to race and nobody's going to have a go at me because I'm not in my midfield position. There's a lot more freedom with this Manchester United side, what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has brought to the table. And I think it has been quite an incredible turnaround. And I'm saying that because it's not easy to sort of keep on winning in the Premier League. We've seen Arsenal have a great run. We've seen Chelsea have a great run. But then the wheels have come off with it. And you can see them dropping points against all kinds of teams. But this Manchester United team seems to be a lot stronger and a lot happier. And I use the word happy because they look as though they're enjoying everybody's company at the moment. What's the plan then?
When you mentioned Pogba with that Liverpool midfield three to get at him this weekend and upset his play, because he is so important to that United success at the minute.
Yeah, I do think so. It's the high energy of Liverpool's midfield. I think those are the areas. I think one of the big things is who defends better out of the two sides, because there's going to be the atmosphere is going to be incredible, and the Man United crowd are going to push Man United in that first 20 minutes. I think that is the important time for Liverpool to come through that. I think Liverpool comes through that all right. Liverpool win the game convincingly, and I really think that. But it is going to be very, very testing. They're going to come at them. The defence is how they set up. But I do think that area in the middle there, who are the quicker players in the press. Listen, as good as I've said Pogba is, he doesn't like the players all snapping at his heels and getting around him. He does get very, very anxious about that. And I say with the likes of Matic and Herrera, Matic certainly is not the quickest. And we get at him and we can pinch the ball very high up.
Like, I know the alternative is Manchester City, Phil, but you get the sense that United would love to stop Liverpool winning a first league title.
Of course they would. Oh, my goodness. I think Evertonians are wanting Manchester United to beat us to stop us from the title. And then we've got Everton coming up, and that's all. Evertonians, that's all they're looking forward to, is to stop Liverpool winning the title. So this is what Liverpool have to put up with. And there's been a lot of swell of that. People want Manchester City to win the league again. They don't want, and like last season, it was, I'd love Liverpool to win the league. Oh, Liverpool are playing the best football. Now, when there's a reality to it, that possibility of Liverpool Football Club winning the title again with a fantastic team is frightening a lot of supporters of other clubs. And they're thinking, we don't want this cycle again. We don't want to have that problem of Liverpool dominating again. And that's the fear factor why they don't want Liverpool Football Club to win the title. And so Manchester United fans will love it if they can stop Liverpool win the title. They quite love to have Manchester City, that's how bad it is, to win the title over Liverpool. But we're still there and we're coming. And I think we win on Sunday, we will win the title.
I have to say, I don't go with that at all, Phil. That I think most neutral supporters are actually quite happy. I mean, United aside, I'll grant you that, and City clearly, who are actually in the title race. But I think most other people who are interested in football are interested in Liverpool actually winning the league now. I mean, your point might be valid next season. I think for now, people are actually eager to see Liverpool get on and win it. There's been
a swell of support for Manchester City since Liverpool have been, certainly since the turn of the year, when we were certainly 7 points ahead or something, and there was a growing thing which was nervousness about Liverpool winning the title. And maybe they're not all neutrals, but I think there's a swell of neutrals which want Liverpool. I think that they are worried about that cycle happening because football is like that. Liverpool had it before, Manchester United had it. And I think if it was Manchester United or Liverpool, I think people would want Liverpool to win it. But not the same with Manchester City. There's quite a love affair with Manchester City. And Pep.
I think what I'm saying, Phil, is
I quite love the way they play, and I love Pep's manner and how he gets his teams to play, and I can understand that.
I think it suits Liverpool to a degree that it's everybody's against us and we don't care sort of attitude.
Absolutely, and I think that's why we should use that and say, let's go and do it. We know there's so many teams, particularly Manchester United fans and Everton fans, who are desperate for us not to do it. Let's go and do it. Let's go and show everybody how good we are and enjoy the pressure and enjoy this moment and to go and do it. And it has been the Holy Grail. And the people I think Sky Sports had a poll, the Champions League or the Premier League, what Liverpool fans, oh my goodness, I said 99%. I couldn't believe it. There was 58% at one time wanted us to win the Champions League. Oh my God, what Liverpool fans are they? The Premier League has been a holy grail for quite a while, and Manchester United fans probably can feel that as well when they went 26 years. And when you know and it's there and it's within your grasp, there's a chance. But if we do not get there this year, I am quite sure, because I said at the start of the season, Manchester City were my tip. And I said, but we will be closer. If we don't win it this year, we will definitely win it next year. But we're in such a position at the moment, I think come Sunday, we are victors. We will win the title.
Phil, thanks a lot.
My pleasure, guys.
Thanks a lot. Speak soon. Phil Thompson there on the line from Liverpool ahead of that game at the weekend. I do definitely think there is an element of... I've not met one neutral fan who doesn't have an historic relationship, that's anti-Liverpool, that doesn't want Liverpool to win it.
Really?
Most neutral people want Liverpool to win the league.
Really?
Of course they do. It's like people who were happy to see Limerick win the hurling last year or Galway the year before, because it's a long time between drinks. And then what happens is, the minute they win it, the minute Galway win it, Limerick win it, or Liverpool potentially with the Premier League this season, once that minute arrives, then it's like, grand. That's your turn done now. I don't want to see you win it next year.
Maybe. I disagree. I think that there is a lot of people who will get a lot of pleasure if Liverpool bottle this. They'll be very, very happy to see Liverpool bottle this, because it's nothing to do with the fact of the drought. And I accept that the Galway and Limerick thing, you're bang on, because they're counties where they weren't kind of knocking on the door for a while, or they haven't had a history where they've been so dominant for a period of time, or they haven't done great things in the recent past, like Liverpool have done in the Champions League. So there is sort of this aura around Liverpool that if they win the Premier League this season, it'll be the most special thing that ever happens in sport. Say if I was a Liverpool fan, I would probably be kind of walking around like a peacock at the moment saying, I am better at being a football fan than you because I support Liverpool Football Club. That's what it's all about. Like the idea that...
It's predicated on the United sign that they have, that every year ticks over and they sort of get out their banner and it's like the rolling ticker of the number of years that have gone past. Like, I'd say that banner alone drives Liverpool fans absolutely crazy. And that was the point about the whether they would want to win the Champions League or the Premier League. I have to say, I totally agree with Phil. What Liverpool fan is wanting Liverpool to win the Champions League over the Premier League?
Yeah, no, I
agree
with you on that one, but I definitely, and I think it's all about, I think that's what sport is all about, that your relationship with your team is that close that you actually get a sense of ego from what your team do. And I really think that Liverpool fans this season, probably rightfully, are feeling a little bit more special about themselves because they legitimately feel that their football team is more special than your football team.
Yeah.
That they have that,
have
that superiority complex where the history, the atmosphere in Anfield, the mad genius of Jurgen Klopp is better than anything your football club can produce. And there may be elements of truth in that, but what I'm saying is that there is a sense of superiority around that, which probably doesn't go down too well with fans of other clubs, and they'll be like, I'd love to wipe that smug smile off their face. That's what I think. Like personally, I think if I was a Liverpool fan, I always kind of say I kind of wish I was a Liverpool fan sometimes because it'd be a good football team to support. But I'm not a Liverpool fan, so when I'm like, oh, you should really get to Anfield now, it's going to be the most special thing on earth. Like I'd rather be at Anfield this season than walking the moon and all that sort of thing. And I think that's probably going to wind a few people up. And I think Phil Thompson is right there that Manchester United fans would much rather see Manchester City win the league. Maybe not much rather. They'd rather see Manchester City win the league than see Liverpool win the league.